Hi, welcome to GalaxyCon Live. I am Mike Broder, and with me is my peppy co-host, Patty Hawkins.
Hey, folks, how are y'all doing today?
Good evening.
Happy 420, and we'll get that joke out of the way.
All right, well, it's done. It's dead.
Yeah.
It's buried.
Yeah.
I was reading that maybe the weed industry is suffering during these times, but we can have that conversation later.
Sure.
We have four amazing guests tonight. We have Rob, Chris, and Dave, co-creators of Cyanide and Happiness, along with producer Adam. Producer Steve, if you can bring on the guys.
Welcome.
Hey,
thanks for having us.
Hey.
So I would imagine that everybody in the universe knows who Cyanide and Happiness is, and if they don't, they've been living under a rock since 2005.
I would hope so. If you know anyone that doesn't know us, send them to me.
Yeah. Well, when I will admit, when I posted up to my social media today, I had a few inquiries. Cyanide and Happiness, what is it? And these are from older people. And then I would put up some of the things that like, oh, I've seen those. Yeah, they're funny. So
we're the comic that everyone's seen but nobody knows.
Yeah,
that's what we get at conventions. Is a lot of people going, "Oh, I know this."
Patty's older than he looks.
Yeah.
Patty's older than he looks, and he's around a lot of old people. So
yeah. I live in Florida, up in the Villages. Have you heard about that? You know.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's the rock that you're talking about, where no one's heard of us.
Sorry.
So you guys have been doing this, since 2005. You guys started early, on the web, and have amassed an incredible fan base. Usually, we talk about fan experiences. I'm sure you guys have a lot of those. And coming in from a different angle into the convention world through the webcomic world, what was the first convention you guys set up as at Cyanide and Happiness, and what was that experience like when you're meeting fans that first time?
The first convention, we went big for our first convention where we all met. We went straight to San Diego Comic Convention, where I think a friend of ours was kind enough to share one of their booths with us for like an hour each day. And so, I'm from a small town in Ireland, and to kind of go from that to, traveling to San Diego, and for the first time kind of having fans in our face going, "Oh my God, I love you guys." Absolutely incredible. That was 2007. That was a 0 to 11 straight away as far as my experience goes.
And an hour at a booth at San Diego is still prime real estate.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
Absolutely.
And just doing that hour, thanks to our friend who let us borrow his booth for our signings, we were able to get grandfathered in and be able to show up there at San Diego Comic-Con every year after that.
Ooh.
And we didn't really know what to expect going in, right? Right, guys. Like, I certainly wasn't prepared for people kind of lighting up and kind of screaming with excitement at us and stuff. We were sleepless. We were hungover.
That's also where we all first met in person too, and that was great. And before we even got to the first day of the convention, we had already received death threats of people who were gonna get us while we're there.
Oh,
with a keyblade or something. I don't know.
No, there was a guy that was going to come to murder us all at the convention stall. I remember that.
Yeah.
Never showed up because it's really hard to get tickets to
hard to get through.
Yeah,
I know.
To take them.
As I said,
he showed up every year waiting to die and waiting to get murdered, but
he couldn't get their
tickets.
You
know what? If they tell you they're going to murder you, they don't usually follow through.
Yeah.
This guy had a precise time and everything. He was like, "I will see you at 10 p.m. for your death. Don't be lit." And he never showed up. So
You're not supposed to tell your victim when to expect you. Jeez.
I could have slept in.
Didn't he know the vendor was it 10 a.m. or 10? Maybe we kept showing up at 10 p.m. when the vendor room was closed.
Yeah, I think only the convention rooms were open at that point, so I think he's just lost.
He's like, "Rats, I can't get in to murder them today. I'll come back tomorrow at 10 p.m."
He's still in Hall F, frothing at the lips, looking for us.
Oh, he's the only one there. There's someone else there.
His ghost is there. He's got unfinished business.
So had any of you guys gone to Comic-Cons prior just as fans?
Mm-mm.
Never.
No.
Well, Rob, you did. You went to like A-Con. Not A-Con.
Well, actually, you're half right. So San Diego wasn't my first con. I did A-Con in Dallas about a month earlier.
Nerd.
But yeah, that's true. That's fair. But it was nothing like San Diego, so I consider it a warm up. It was dipping my toe in the waters before San Diego a few weeks later. But yeah, it was fun. It was a different kind of convention. Anime cons are completely different than Comic Cons, but it was a good time.
And yeah, I was 17 at the time, and I was living in Wyoming, and there's no conventions there other than horse conventions.
And so Chris's parents were really weirded out about him going to meet a bunch of strangers online, but we're good guys.
I said,
They understood.
I said, shut up, Mom and Dad, they love me, and I flew away.
So, Chris, you never got a booth at HorseCon ever?
Did I get booted out?
Did you ever? I asked if you ever got a booth, but
I never got a booth. I got a stall. I got a corral and some alfalfa.
I'm sure over the years your cartoons have involved some kind of horses or at least unicorns, but probably something horrible happening to them as well.
Oh, always.
Oh wait, yeah, the video of the kid and the birthday present, the Xbox. Yeah.
Right.
And there's another one where somebody turns a horse into a penny farthing.
Yeah.
That's another. I don't think we've ever made a short with a horse where the horse didn't meet like a horrible demise.
Oh, Repulsal.
Oh no, we did. We did with season. We had one go on a date.
That wasn't a horse.
He was dressed up as a horse.
Yeah.
And they appear in the comics too. I appreciate that you suggested that if we don't have horses, we must certainly have unicorns. Like that's the premier version of a horse. It's the primary version of that animal.
Yeah.
No ponies, no donkeys, though. Horses and unicorns. Yeah.
Oh my.
Yeah.
So
we
you broke the ice of San Diego, and you discovered that you guys had a following in the real world, as opposed to, and you guys know this as well too, that there's a little bit of difference between what you get online and what's actually going to be in front of you and what's going on into it. So how have you felt over the years as this has evolved?
It's been mind blowing. Like I still haven't fully accepted the fact that what we do is read by anybody except for us.
It's still surreal every day. Yeah.
And speaking of which, really quick, like a question just popped on the screen and then disappeared. I don't know if you guys saw that too. Okay, because like we have to respond to this, especially you, Dave, because you were there for this. Do you see it?
Okay.
Yes. I'll just read it. Jonathan,
okay.
Did one of you guys do a convention in London signing fake autographs as Patrick Stewart?
That was all you, man.
No, you were there too, man.
I know I was there, but I don't remember if I was signing as Patrick Stewart or that was you.
I remember what happened. It was 2000. Was it 2008?
It was no. It was much more recent. It was like 2015. It was just.
No, that was MCM. This was different. This was the London Excel Center. Remember?
Are you? Yeah, that's 2015. You're talking about the one up at King's Court or whatever.
Yeah, the one in Earl's Court.
Is that the one? I don't think that's the one they're talking about. I think I
think it is because Patrick Stewart was across from us, loudly doing a panel, and our fans couldn't get to us because Patrick Stewart has more fans.
We can solve this. Let's ask Patrick Stewart.
Do you need me to call him?
Okay.
Yeah, cool guy. I
call
him
on the line.
But Jonathan, the answer is yes. You didn't imagine that. That was us.
We were charging $200 for Patrick Stewart's autograph. Man, we made our like bandits that year.
So
you were charging dollars in the UK?
That was our first mistake.
That's that Patrick Stewart money, baby.
Yeah, Patrick only deals in U.S. currency.
Yeah,
when you hear about those pounds. So you guys have a massive following, and so you're going to these shows, and you're unique in that. I mean, I just looked up one of your the videos, a compilation video had 44 million views, 44,600,000 and some odd thousand views.
Yeah,
that's a bit more than some celebrities. Their films have been seen, or certainly no comic books have that kind of circulation.
40 million of those are bots that we placed there.
That's fair.
Yeah, I would imagine. Do convention organizers understand that you have this audience?
They're always surprised. We kind of tell them beforehand that there's going to be long lines, and sometimes they're not really prepared for it. Yeah. And also booth neighbors and stuff, as well meaning as they are. We have great booth neighbors at all the conventions, but they get overwhelmed in some cases by the lines that we have.
Especially Patrick Stewart that one time. Like his fans couldn't even find him.
Who are these Cyanide and Happiness fellows?
These Cyanide and Happiness fellows are ruining my machismo.
So you've had a lot of conventions where they say you got to get these people out of here, and we're just at the booth. They expect us to stack everybody on each other's shoulders.
What I always tell people is, if you see Patrick Stewart, turn right. Just walk right past him.
Is that like climbing Everest and using like bodies as navigation?
Yeah, he's on green boots up in the peak.
Right.
So you guys basically, despite trying to pre-warn clients, you say, give us a corner area, give us a little bit of room. Instead, you're wedged in an artist alley between a self-published novel guy and a girl doing, it's like macrame or something. And
in San Diego, we're always directly next to some furry pornography, which is inspiring.
Nice.
Yeah.
He doesn't mean at the convention either. He means after, when we're kind of watching on our laptops and stuff.
Wind down.
Yeah, they come home with us.
Yeah.
But we're often pit next to things like that. And I think I'm losing track of your question. I apologize.
Oh, no, that's fine. But it's about how, what Mike said, you try to let the conventions know we're going to have a strong and dedicated following. And they're like, oh, yeah, sure, everybody does. And then all of a sudden, logistically, they get a little swamped because you guys have a line where they didn't prepare for one.
A lot of cons are on top of it, though. Like Emerald City has always been great. They have a huge team of volunteers. All of the PAX shows, they have volunteers who just show up like automatically when there's a line, like pure magic, start organizing people.
Yeah, the first time we did PAX South, they threatened us on Saturday they were going to call the fire department.
Whoa,
that's how packed we were on that day.
How dare you have fans?
They were going to hose them.
Yeah. It's
crazy. The fire department shows up and says, "Hey, can I get an autograph?"
Yeah, can I get an autograph?
So we the first experience I had with like massive webcomic fandom was in 2013, and there's another Star Trek actor who's not Patrick Stewart who was a little unhappy. We had the dude from Homestuck.
Oh yeah. Oh man.
And 2013, at like the height of Homestuck, we had him at this show, and we put him in the celebrity row with like Jason David Frank and Adam Baldwin, a bunch of other guys, and his line just went out the back door to the loading dock and down like a half a mile.
That's an aggressive fan base too.
There was a phase where I just assumed every cosplay I didn't recognize was a Homestuck fan, and I was usually right. like every con for about 5 years.
Just follow the gray paint on the walls. So there were celebrities who were noticeably upset that were like, well, who is this guy? How come he has a longer line than me? How come I don't have this line? And I'm like, I don't know, because he has all these fans who came to see them. There's nothing I can do. I can't just magically make those kids your fans. Because
I mean, we saw a little bit of that just when we came to, your guys' con in Raleigh last year, because how we got moved to the celebrity area, and we had this big obnoxious booth kind of set up with all of our characters and stuff on it, and everyone in that whole row was like, what is this? What the hell is this? Who are these guys? And it was kind of fun and entertaining to see. So it worked out, but everyone was super cool about it, super nice too.
Lucky.
I've done that a couple of times. I've explained to a guest, like, who is that person? Well, they're an anime and they do this and they do that, and they're like, I gotta get a piece of that action,
Right. Oh yeah.
So watch out.
Year to year.
So watch out for Star Trek guys putting out webcomics.
Oh, dude. Yes.
Anybody that comes and sees us, they're automatic voice actors. Every time.
Yeah. Well, we won't tell them when we're recording, though.
We're always recording.
We'll wait till they say something that we can just build a short around.
So you guys, you've been talking about a lot of fans come and see you at these shows or anywhere that you've been. Do you guys have any memorable, like something that like a fan interaction that really sticks with you?
Oh yeah, lots. I mean, we've been doing conventions for a long time.
13 years, 14 if you include when Rob went to his first con. One that I always remember is a guy asked me to sign his tumor that he got removed, his cancerous tumor, and he said it looks like a little Yorkshire Terrier. Can you do something with that? So I had to draw this little Yorkshire Terrier made of a cancer.
God.
Yeah.
And it was removed from his body?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was inside of a jar. Yeah.
He had it in a little jar.
So you signed the jar.
Yeah.
The way Dave described it almost sounded like he cut himself open in front of us and said, "Hey, can you get in there with a Sharpie?
Take my meat and sign it, please. I don't have long." But it turns out he was fine. His cancer was safely in a jar to open it. Keep it shut. And I signed that.
Yeah, he told us that our comics helped him get through chemo and recovery and stuff. So we signed his little jar.
One thing I can tell you is that it did indeed look like a duck.
Yeah, exactly like one. We've honestly, the amount of support we get from people who have experienced cancer is crazy because they don't have a lot of options to joke about it and kind of find that reprieve from it all. And kind of, people, you can still have a dark sense of humor even if you get cancer.
And I feel like in 2006, 1 in 3 of our comics had cancer in it, maybe. So it was a good.
That's a good statistic. It reflects like actual cancer in a way.
Maybe.
How many horses have gotten cancer in your comics?
Oh man,
that's an untapped market.
I would actually have to look that up. That's a great question.
Let's go into the database and find out.
I was about to say, do you guys have some Uber fans that are just walking canonical receptacles of everything you guys have done?
There was a kid in New York Comic-Con where we have one of our famous characters, Ted Bear, and on the second episode, Ted Bear 2, there's this prison rap where he's in prison. It's this whole rap about him being in prison. He's the kingpin now or whatnot. And this kid who had to have been 7 years old came up to us dressed up as Rick and Morty and just full-blown spit out the entire rap, profanities and all. And it was amazing because the mother was in the background like, I can't believe this, I can't believe this. And we all kind of paused and we were like, getting our phones out, do it again. Yeah. It was that was amazing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How many Cyanide and Happiness tattoos have you seen?
Oh, a lot.
We've drawn tattoos on the fly at cons and had people come back the next day with the tattoo on their body.
Yeah, we've had people like take our signatures and get them permanently inked and stuff, and it's like, are you my property now? Is that how this works? Is the contract signed?
Now, have any of you done the tattooing?
No. I would love to.
I've never handled a tattoo. I've never handled a tattoo gun in my life. Have you guys?
There was this really funny one where this woman came up and she had her and her husband as CNH characters tattooed on her foot, dressed up in wedding outfits. And they were getting married at some concert venue, and they had the date of that concert venue tattooed underneath it. However, due to like weather and a whole bunch of other stuff, that concert got pushed up a week.
Oh no!
So the date was wrong. So she was like, "Hey, I got this tattoo. We were really excited, and then unfortunately, the date's wrong." I was like, "That's easy. Just put -7." So she came back the next day with -7 tattooed at the end of the date. So,
oh boy.
I mean, that's a tattoo you have to explain for sure.
Yeah. Similar to that, we've had a lot of people sort of ask their other halves to be their brides or husbands in front of us and stuff. We've had all sorts of proposals at conventions out of the blue as well. Like they'll do it at the booth or in the middle of a panel, like a talk we're having.
Yeah.
I always feel awkward about that because I wonder if she says no, is it going to be our fault for not
right? That's why they always want to do it during our costume contest. And we've done it a number of times in the past, and now I'm like, what if she says no?
Right.
I
got 3,500 people in the audience that are all going to leave like,
it's a high pressure.
One of these proposals was at Emerald City Comic-Con, and we were joking that very same night, like, wouldn't it be funny if someone back in the line, 10 people back, watched it happen, and they're like, God damn it, I was going to do that. And it ended up turning into an entire episode that we wrote about a guy who keeps trying to propose, but it's always been done right in front of him. So
someone's always there proposing to their significant other right in front of him.
Yeah.
There was one in what was it, Salt Lake Comic-Con, Chris? Do you remember?
Yeah. Yes, I do.
Yeah, during a panel, lady came up and asked if she could draw a picture for us, and I thought it might be something quick, but she spent a good 2 minutes kind of staring at us drawing with the whole crowd in silence behind her, waiting and not really knowing what's going on.
She didn't have a plan.
She didn't have a plan, to the point where Chris kind of leaned over to me and went, "What the heck's going on, man?"
Yeah, I'm like, I'm about to shut this down.
Yeah. And she turns around and what'd she have? Did it say, "Will you marry me?" Just she drew something like as well.
Yeah,
But,
it's just a "Will you marry me?" I think it's just letters that she drew.
Yeah, and
Took her a while.
her boy, yeah, she took a long time drawing those letters. Good old Utah. But she turned around to her boyfriend, who was in a Captain America outfit. He did not look happy. He did not look happy at all.
I mean,
Well,
would you be?
Maybe I'm just a jerk, but I'm still there for it. You know what I mean? Like they asked us to do it, and we did it. And if someone says no, then we helped them get out of it. I guess.
If this was a bad idea, we had no way of knowing that. Only you did.
Yeah.
At my old Disney job, I used to do the Monsters Inc. show, and we would have people wanting to do marriage proposals in the middle of the show, and because we had some women say no, we tended to, or what we did was we had the last character do it. So at least if it crapped out, it was at the end of the show.
Right. That's good. That's
the best
good
one
closer.
we've got was we had when we used to do the show at the Miami Airport building, Patty, there was a proposal, and as the guy got on in the middle of the show floor, and there were cameras, they were filming something, and there were people there to film the proposal. Guy gets on his knees to propose, and as he does it, poof, the transformer blows out. All the power in the building goes out. Pitch dark in the convention.
That's how serious he was.
That's not a sign. Just not get married.
And then the Phantom of the Opera comes out.
See, I thought this was going the direction that was part of his proposal, and he was going to whip out a candle or something. So everyone else has to stumble around in the dark.
Just figured it's just God going, don't do this.
Bad idea. Don't propose during a cosplay contest.
Or it's just the guy who works at the electric company who just knows them well.
Oh, he's in love with her? Is that something?
Yeah, he's in love with her.
He's up in the rafters with the sandbags.
If I can't be happy, then no one can be happy.
The Phantom of the Convention. Exactly.
I'd watch that.
Yeah.
I'd watch it once.
Yeah. See, we're giving you guys fodder for new material. We're working here. So
nice. Yeah.
So Adam, when did you hook up as producer in with these merry band here?
Yeah, I came on was it 2015? Started 2015 working on season 2 of the show. And been there since. Started doing the conventions around the same time, I think 2015 or 16. The first one I did was with Dave. We went to A-Con, and that was the first one I did. That was an anime con, very, very different. I did a bunch of conventions before that, but started 2015. Been probably the head producer since 2017 or 18, something like that. 18 maybe. So yeah, it's been fun. It's I do all the stuff that nobody wants to do, including myself.
Like Adam gets these questions, that he finds answers to, where it's like, okay, the people are disagreeing on how loud the fart should be, or the censored penis doesn't dangle the way it should, and Adam jumps in and somehow takes care of these things. Yeah.
Yeah, we find people for it. Yes.
So he is the arbiter.
Yes. He is the arbiter.
That's a very lofty way. That's a lofty way to put it. I love that.
It normally goes like we come up with a dumb joke, we write a script, we give it to Adam. Adam says, this looks like a lot of work to make. And we're like, cool, have fun.
And then he sees this out in the back on the swing set.
We're going, our job is done.
Yeah.
Give him a big slap on the back and go get him, Tiger.
Yeah. If you guys could, real quick, you take us through the evolution of concept to the final product. Like, does it bounce between all three of you, or is it as kind of I'll go off and do Tuesday's thing? I mean, how's it work?
For the comics, it is kind of rotational kind of thing. Like I'll work on comics. I'll put a comic up Monday and Saturday. And Rob, you're like Tuesday and Sunday and stuff like that. Yeah. And we always have a chat going for like feedback and kind of sharing ideas and whatnot. Yeah. So if I make the boys holler, then I know it's a good one.
Yeah. And it comes from several places. Like we will often sit down and try to form an idea and be able to do that. And then when we are talking just in a kind of hangout sort of chat like this, ideas come out of it too, because we can't seem to stop joking.
Yeah, for the shorts in particular, we have a pretty traditional writing room where twice a week we get in the same room. Well, not right now, we don't, but we get in the same virtual space. And we don't really, like for the first 30 minutes, we don't even try to write or do anything productive. We just joke around because that's where half the ideas come from. And then eventually, once we reach the point where we're all kind of like done bantering, we'll pull out the first script and then go through it kind of one after the other.
There's a timer that counts down, and once it hits to 0, no less. After that, it's all serious business.
Yeah, Adam kicks down the door and says, "I need scripts."
Yeah,
we go, ah!
It takes probably, I mean, just once the script is done and approved, it's on an average, just for a short that comes out on our channel, that's on an average of 2 to 3 months, give or take, depending on from start to finish. Mm-hmm. It just all depends on, the complexity of it and the length. And when they say like, hey, we want to do all this cool action stuff, then we say no. And
then we got to figure something out. Yeah.
And that's one thing people always say. Well, in animation, you could do anything. I'm like, well, depending on your resources, and your time. You can. Yeah, but you got to draw it.
Is your funding Disney or is it Google AdSense?
No,
that makes a difference.
They have a factory of little Korean children.
Yeah,
right. Of course.
24/7 fingers bleed.
That's the magic of cartoons. Is yes, you can do everything, but if you're going to have someone walk across the room, that's going to probably take you a day to finish up.
I mean, it takes me a day to walk across the room sometimes. So that checks out.
Right.
And these days, all we're doing is walking across our rooms and nowhere else.
Right, going slowly insane.
What?
Go ahead.
Okay. What was the impetus or the opportunity for jumping from the webcomic form to the actual YouTube animations?
Interesting, because it actually went the other way. Most people don't know this, but we started out doing animation when we were all kids, when we were teenagers. Dave and I met when he was living in Northern Ireland. I was living in Houston, but we collaborated. We did voice acting for each other. We uploaded cartoons that like a very small number of people actually watched, but it was enough to keep us going.
It was enough to fulfill our little teenage egos and tell us to keep doing things. And so we did. We collaborated, and we eventually, met Chris through all that and decided that we'd all try something together when around the time, like I was starting college for computing science. Same with you, Rob, with animation. Mm-hmm. And that's how the comic was born anyway, because, it's a lot quicker to do a comic than an animation.
Yeah,
but it was still a way to collaborate. Yeah,
we became too lazy to make animations. But...
Well, that's the true way of putting it. I was trying to make it sound a little better than that. But...
So how'd you guys meet? Rob, you're in Houston. Dave, you're in Northern Ireland.
I'm in Dallas right now, actually.
No, I mean,
I was sure. There was a community called the Stick Figure Death community. It sounds really embarrassing, and that's because it is.
There was that, and also Newgrounds. Newgrounds was YouTube before there was YouTube. It was just all animation, and it was a bunch of people who, like us, who were just in high school. They didn't have any friends, so they just turned to animation because what else are you going to do?
Right. I remember being at the local LAN place where we play like Quake and stuff like that, and all the kids would gather around to watch whatever was going on stickdeath.com. We'd click through cartoon after cartoon after cartoon, and I'd look at this and think, I can probably do better than that. I always enjoyed drawing and animation as a kid, so I wanted to give it a go myself. Now that one kid could make their own cartoons, at home. And that was 2000, 2001. So it was kind of exciting.
It was fun, and we even had little T-shirt stores occasionally. There's a website called Cafe Press where you could upload a JPEG and then sell T-shirts, and the margins were fucking terrible. We'd get $1 a shirt or less. It's probably 50 cents, but
sometimes you still see those shirts floating around as well. People keep them.
Actually, I have a royalty check from Cafe Press for $36.
Hey, I need $12.
It makes up like 10.
You have your Cafe Press mug.
Mm-hmm. The mugs and the thongs were the hot items. You got to grab
clocks.
them.
You could do a clock.
Oh, the clock, yeah.
I had a buddy of mine who worked for Cafe Press. He left Microsoft to go to Cafe Press. It was not the brightest idea he ever had.
No, not. But it was big at the time.
Yeah, it works.
It lasted for a minute.
Yeah. I think, what is it, Redbubble's the stand-in? What's the stand-in right now?
Who knows?
Yeah.
I think Redbubble's it would be the evolution.
I freely admit I've got a few cafe press nerd shirts lounging.
Oh, same. Oh yeah. Now
That's
they're
your
vintage.
old Patty.
Well, they're the only place in the world that had Magooin the prisoner shirt. So I was like, well, I gotta get that. It's a prisoner shirt. I mean, the prisoner fan club doesn't even sell those. And yes, I was a member.
They probably didn't sell those cafe press ones either. That's probably someone took the liberty.
Probably. So you guys have you start out with the gags, and then it looks like you've dabbled in sort of extended storylines where you have, my favorite one was the guy turned out the kid wasn't his son. Don't call me dad, call me Nacho. That's a good one, and that.
Oh, thank you.
And to your credit, that I think that really kind of helps define you guys, because it shows you guys get dark, but you never get mean. And that's one thing I think is a really endearing quality. You can laugh at some really horrible stuff, but there's a whatever the line is, I don't think you guys have crossed it. Maybe you've come close to internally, and the arbiter has pulled the brakes on it. But was there ever a time when somebody was outvoted saying, "Nah, dude, let's not go there"?
Let's think of a time.
I don't think anybody.
I don't think anybody tries to be like directly like offensive to any like particular person, group, or thing. It's just broad humor, and at least from my perspective, that's just always kind of seemed what it all sort of encompassed, and just something everyone sort of naturally kept in mind.
Right.
Because that's the biggest misconception. We go to conventions, and the first thing like a lot of people say is like, "Oh my God, like you guys are so sick, twisted, just like me, and you guys are all assholes, and I love it." And I was like, I mean, but like I'm really nice.
Actually, I'm really nice. That sounds like something a nice guy would say.
It's the nice, sick, twisted ones that always end up getting their neighbors interviewed. He was always so nice and quiet and sick and twisted, and then he ended up,
I think
who knew that
in the neighborhood.
Basket. I don't understand.
We don't punch Don.
Yeah, the way we would look at it is like we didn't try to be funny. We didn't try to be offensive. We just found out that we were offensive. We didn't try to be funny. We found out we were funny.
And
we have a deep. Go ahead, Rob.
Oh yeah, there's an expectation if people have been reading us for a while that the CNH universe is just terrible people being awful to each other. So once you understand that, like there's kind of a separation between the artist and the art. And I noticed that our YouTube stuff, our shorts, they tend to be a little bit less dark sometimes than the comics. So every so often when we make a really dark animation, there's always a subset of the YouTube audience who's horrified. And they're like, "What is this? I can't believe you made it." Then the other half of the audience says, "Welcome to Cyanide and Happiness."
Yeah. Well, you mentioned the horse killing stuff earlier and whatnot. We definitely found out that you can do just about anything on YouTube, but if you kill an animal, that's when people get upset.
Horses, or not horses, dogs.
Dogs, horses. Well, how many have we? We've had dogs kill people, dogs get killed, all of that. But people always have the same reaction where it's like, "No, you've gone too far."
It's almost as bad as posting a nipple on Facebook. Like it's up there.
You've crossed the line.
Right.
Is that where the Cliff one came from? Where, oh no, we can't get rid of the teacher, we can't get rid of the retarded kids, but we can get rid of the panda.
Right. People seem to not care as much about the pandas as they do the dogs and ponies and stuff. But
pandas don't do a whole lot. Can't pet panda. I think, especially early on, people were like, "Wait, you can't kill kids, you can't kill dogs." And my response is always kind of, "Oh no, the make-believe dog."
Just do it. Look, have you watched Tiger King? We're killing make-believe animals here. Go worry about these guys.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's what's kind of fun about cartoons is if it's a little sensitive to kill a dog, you could make the dog a terrible human being.
You don't know what that dog's thinking,
Yeah, we have one cartoon where a dog is a drug dealer.
Yeah, we have another one where he's looking up skirts for a blind man to let him know.
And they're probably all racist. They just can't say it.
That's true. Every dog in the CNH universe is racist. You heard it here first.
You heard it here first. That's your big scoop.
Another GalaxyCon exclusive. Awesome. Thank you guys. Have a great.
Dogs don't like Canadians.
They're all Nazi dogs.
Yeah.
I think we just don't punch down. We have like a deep pool of stuff we find funny, but it's never just a case of look at this, isn't it stupid? And that being the joke. There's always a twist on it or some play with it.
Or a dead horse.
Or dead horse.
Or dead horse. Or
okay, stop beating it. Stop beating it.
So Dave, earlier in the show, you called Rob a nerd.
Mm-hmm.
What's the nerdiest thing about you guys?
It really hurt my feelings.
Oh boy, I love insects. I think insects are fascinating.
I thought you said incest, and I I was about to get.
Yeah, I heard that as well.
Well, that's cool. That's not nerdy. Would you say incest is nerdy of all things?
What did he say?
Hold on.
Yeah. My
You hear
nerdiest
what you
thing
wanted.
is I'd like to get ant farms and take care of insects and stuff. We have ladybugs eating aphids here and stuff like that. I think that stuff's cool. That's the nerdiest thing about me.
What's your favorite insect?
My favorite insect, I like the. Do you know the backstroker?
No.
They're in water. They just kind of have legs. I'm not going to get into this. You're proving me to be a nerd. I know what you're doing.
Are you sure you're not talking about insects?
I'm a big fan of aquatic life myself.
Mm-hmm. Fisher
What?
Dave, I thought
aquatic
you were more of a bird guy.
I laugh at birds. That makes me sound crazy. Birds are funny, but
That's also
very
punching down, which you just said you didn't do.
Oh yeah, screw this bird, isn't it stupid?
But you like fish.
That's punching
You
up.
like
When
that.
is a bird low enough for you to punch?
I think punching birds is punching up.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Now, when you say aquatic life, is that all broad aquatic life? Are we talking like you like the porpoises, or do you like the Lovecraftian creatures at the bottom of the Marianas?
Name 5 things. I'll tell you how much I love them. Porpoises, pretty good. I like how
Okay.
they're shaped like Subway sandwiches.
Orcas.
Did
Orcas, great. Loved Free Willy. Used to have weird dreams as a kid about how I'd have a 10-inch orca kept in a goldfish bowl.
Whoa.
The anglerfish.
Let's
Yeah.
talk more about Dave's dreams.
Let's talk more. Yeah, we've only got 20 minutes, so let's make it about my dreams. Anglerfish, awesome. Have you seen that shit? Who the hell built that? That
The
thing's
gooey
crazy.
duck. Gooey
Like-
duck.
Gooey duck. Very erotic. Love it.
Love it. Want it all over
Well,
my body.
I can't
What?
top that.
Just want to roll around.
Would you say it's the most erotic fish?
I think so.
Oh man, I'd say I'm more of a chitin guy than a gooey fish.
Oh yeah. What's that?
Yeah. I'll Google it. You'll know what I mean immediately.
Okay.
I like that blobfish. He's cool.
Yeah.
You just like him because he's a cool meme, Rob.
That's true.
You don't
What
like
about-
any deep cuts in the fish vinyl collection.
I only like the pop.
Adam-
Is that the one
Adam-
that looks
Adam,
like the
you're-
face?
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Does that have the teeth and whatnot?
The blobfish?
Yeah.
Yeah, they have teeth. Why
Oh,
wouldn't they?
gross.
I would hope so.
Adam, you're not. I don't think you're a very nerdy guy. Do you have anything nerdy we should know about? Adam?
Got
Which
some
way
stuff.
do I stand? I have stuff.
Oh, I'm sorry. Arbiter.
Arbiter.
Oh yeah. There you go.
I get some nerdy things here.
What do you got back there, Adam?
Oh, I got comic books.
Ooh, ouch.
And
Ooh,
I
gross.
have
Not the kind of thing you admit.
some Beast Wars. I don't know how popular Beast Wars is. I mean, it's not as popular compared to Transformers, but I got some Beast Wars down there.
No, that's a specific kind of fandom. There are Beast Wars fans
Yeah.
that don't necessarily have to be Transformer fans. They're just special.
Right.
Yeah.
Beast
Okay,
I'm
Wars.
a fan of the
Special.
Beast Wars 3D cartoon. That one was good. The CG one.
Yeah. I want that.
Adam,
Those are
what's
the 2D one.
what's that box set that it looks like it might be Japanese?
This one.
Yeah, that.
This one. That's the Infinity Gauntlet series. That's the whole series.
Oh,
On the
okay.
Infinity Gauntlet, and then Walking Dead, somewhere
Nice.
right there. So
Oh, excellent.
yeah. I mean, I don't know. Mondo Prints. I don't know if that counts as being nerdy, but like
Sure.
I'm a
Mondo prints are
massive hoarder of Mondo prints. I have way too many. I have actually like an entire closet full that are rolled up, and they've been that way for years.
You have any
No
framed?
problem. Oh yeah, for sure. I have them all over. My wife hates it.
I
My
think the
favorite
only one
one's David Bowie.
But she tolerates it, so you married well.
Well, yeah, that's what marriage is. It's tolerating. It's not love. So
Especially these days.
I was saying, hey guys.
Rob, what's your nerdy confession?
If you look at this empty room behind me, I don't like anything.
Rob loves web.
I'm into video games.
Look at this dork.
That's old school nerds. Video games are cool now, but there was a time, if you can believe it, where only nerds played video games, and that was me.
Yeah.
Still is me.
ancient era.
I'm actually a huge fan of Doom and all id Software games. I'm just going to pull this up real quick.
Oh, there we go. Check this out.
There's the
Yeah,
Doom
his whole room is Doom.
Oh.
Kind of Doom themed. I got a whole lot going on.
So Doom and Fish.
Someday they'll make a good Doom movie. Someday.
Apparently they're making a third one. I did watch the second one quite recently, and somehow it was worse than the Carl Urban one.
Wait, there's a second one?
Yeah, it's called Doom Annihilation. They only released last year.
Yeah.
I don't think it ever hit theaters. It was really just video on demand kind of a thing.
Yeah, it themselves said they had nothing to do with it.
It seemed like one of those, we'll lose the rights, so let's make something quick and we'll hold the rights for another 5 years.
Very much so.
Speaking and that's back on your guys' stuff. Has there ever been consideration or rumblings to, do something like the Cyanide and Happiness movie, some real big next level?
James Cameron approached us and said, "Guys, love the cartoons," and they walked away again.
And you love aquatic life.
Mm-hmm.
All
right. So yeah, James Cameron, if you take me down in your big submarine, show me some aquatic life, I'll make you a movie. We'll make a deal.
That's a pretty good deal.
That's not a bad deal.
Pretty decent.
Yeah, I'm not sure. See, the thing is that we've done so much sketch comedy that I'm not sure what a Cyanide and Happiness movie would be about. We are making a video game, actually, Chris. I mentioned that.
That's definitely the closest.
That's the biggest thing we've ever done, probably.
Mm-hmm.
It's a big endeavor, and we've always wanted to. I think if we went the route of a movie, we've always wanted to kind of take it more the direction of a musical. But I don't know until someone hands us a movie.
Yeah.
So the video game, it comes out in the summer, right?
That's right.
And then you start on the Switch.
Yeah, it'll be on Switch and PC, Steam, Mac, Linux.
It's day one, and it's called Apocalypse.
Yeah, that's the closest thing we have to a universe. It has a lot of references from like all the shorts and some show stuff. It's the first time where like they're all kind of together and sort of like its own universe.
Yeah,
that's really exciting.
So we really enjoyed like when you play the South Park games, for example. There's something that's pretty awesome about getting to walk through the town and talk to who you want to and kind of see that. And that's definitely the feeling that we've been getting out of the game, where it feels like playing our animations in every sense. And that definitely has brought a lot of like the kind of CNH universe that we've built into scope a little bit, and how we can tie this into like a location where everyone's shitty and meet each other. And it's been great. It's definitely it's really cool for us to try. Like, we didn't just stop at the comics, even though we enjoyed doing them and that was working for us. If we change the format, we get a lot of enjoyment out of the creative process and figuring out those things. And then if we keep doing it, then it becomes smoother and smoother and becomes all the more fun to do in the end.
So what was interesting about our latest announcement? So the story for it is essentially it's about a kid named Coop who's going through like your typical high school troubles of, like the prom, bullies, kind of loner loser, and he causes like a freak accident that kickstarts the apocalypse. So when we announced it for the Switch, that was when quarantine started in the US.
When.
So that was perfect timing and 100% planned.
Oh yeah, 100% planned. Yeah, they love that.
What do you mean it was planned? COVID-19 was you guys?
You heard it here first. A second big announcement.
Wow.
Someone say it. Someone is making a viral marketing joke. I'm flipping my desk.
Adam went to Wuhan and found some bats, and
the rest is history.
That's where we made the game.
Am I the only one who heard that and was like, people are eating bats out there? I want to try one. I would try a deep fried bat.
I would try wings.
Yeah. I mean, Ozzy knows. Ozzy's been eating bats for a while.
That's true. Yeah. He could have been patient 0.
Oh my God. We found it.
He survived.
We drawn the lines on the corkboard with the yarn and everything, and it all lands at Ozzy. He started it.
But he survived, as he does. Always.
Yeah, he always will. He's a living mummy.
That's a dude. What would be the great? What's the great yet to be made Cyanide and Happiness project?
Video games definitely feel like that for the moment, but then that's going to be a really challenging question once we've made a video game. once we're done, that's tough. I would say probably the most realistic next step would be a theme park.
That makes sense. It is strange how little of a plan we actually have. We make projects because we're excited about the initial idea. That's what we chase down. So like we made a card game called Joking Hazard, but we never sat down and said, hey, we should make a card game. It happened because we made a random comic generator on our website, and then we played with it and thought, hey, this could be a card game. It was very organic. So we don't really...
We were so addicted to it when it was just the random card generator or random comic generator, pardon me, that we weren't getting things done. And so, it was just immediately addictive for us.
Yeah. And so our next project is probably going to be home style cooking recipes like Blue Apron.
I like the theme park idea. You can do a pop-up like what Banksy did.
Yeah. Pop-up. I don't think I'll want to ride any of those rides.
Just a miserable, theme park.
Yeah.
I know several Disney Imagineers who have all been furloughed and got nothing to do. So
great.
Yeah.
Tell them to build. Just start building way up and then have it come back down.
Yeah, Age of Empires style. Have them clicking over towards our massive rubble and just start building it.
And well, part of what we do and how we've been able to keep going is digital media. It's going to be changing shape and, screwing you over here and benefiting you there. It changes all the time. So we've mostly been very reactive. We might have a 3-year plan, but a 5-year plan is pretty wishful thinking with the way digital media works in general. So we usually are more reactive than active in that sense.
It lets us be very adaptive. Personally, I want to do a lot more live action stuff. So keep an eye out for that. We're going to be making some important announcements shortly.
Yeah.
Live action CNH.
Yeah, we're going to shave our heads and wear onesies.
I was about to say, everybody.
Sounds more like Jonestown.
Everybody look like the Fisher Price people gone wrong.
Yeah, exactly. Like someone left a Fisher Price toy in a hot car.
And you're ready to shave your hair for an audition?
Yeah.
I've done worse. That's certainly for sure. I've gained weight, lost weight. I've grown. I put on a fake mustache. Yeah, I'm willing to do it.
Oh,
nice. I'm willing to gain weight. I don't even have an audition. I'll do it.
So, you're in quarantine. You can just sit around and eat all day.
That's all that's going on, man. It's taking everything to try and not put on 20 pounds right now.
I'm struggling. My main quarantine hobby right now is buying bags of jalapeno chips and then comparing them. That's all I'm doing in the evenings.
Do you collect them or do you eat them? Or you just look at my big collection
of
chips?
I eat them, but I always buy 2 at a time and go, this one has a nice mouthfeel, but the other one has...
Do you eat it until it's mostly small chips and then move on to the other bag?
Yeah. I'm not an animal.
Oh, God. Jesus. You're a scourge. Well, what you got to do is trick yourself, and then you won't pay attention to your weight. Actually, I have diet ginger beer here. That matters or makes a difference.
That actually looks delicious. I would go for that.
That sounds great.
It's not.
So, we only have a little bit of time left. I wanted to ask you a business question about the comic stuff. Well, we talked about this before, and yes, Dave, it's a business question. So, very inside baseball here. So, you guys, webcomic, huge viewership. Readership online. So you get into physical collections in stores, and first through HarperCollins and now through Boom. So I don't know if you guys can talk about it, but what's your circulation numbers there? Because they're not going to be anywhere near the views you're getting, but where are you compared to other comic book titles on the shelf or other?
Our books are still in stores to this day. I don't know how sales are because it's all very mysterious, but I can tell you that the online views are just infinitely higher. Our books are more collectibles. They're more things that our fans buy to get signed or as gifts. 99.999% of our views are still online.
Right. But your questions about Boom versus HarperCollins. Obviously HarperCollins has a much greater reach, and we still see those books in stores, even though it's been 11 years.
Are you curious versus big publisher versus small press kind of thing?
Right.
Yeah, definitely. Small press is definitely better, and it seems to be moving to the point where self-publishing is even better because anyone can get their books on Amazon, and there's so many digital comics apps where publishers can just sell their content directly.
Right. And our newest collection, Punching Zoo, got nominated for an Eisner, which was the first thing for us and didn't happen with a larger publisher.
Oh wow.
I got to be there and hear them mispronounce Dave's name, and then we lost all in the span of.
Do you think they didn't give us it because they couldn't pronounce my name correctly?
That was probably it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They didn't want to stumble through that awkward moment again, so.
Yeah.
To be fair, Kate Beaton won, and she deserved it. So
yeah.
Well, if you're nominated once, you'll get nominated again.
Eventually. Yeah. Once award shows are allowed to happen again.
And if
we need to make a new book. It's been a while.
Oh yeah.
Fingers crossed.
The other thing.
You just send an email to whoever's on the Eisner committee and be like 10 p.m.
There you go. Yeah, we'll be there. We'll be there with our keyblades, and we did
win a streamy for our animations about 5 years ago, and I brought it home for a bit, but then I couldn't bring it back to the office, so it looks like I just hold this all the time. I just kind of wave it around the house.
So, all right, guys, I think we're gonna wrap up. I mean, everybody knows where to find you online. I don't think that's a big secret.
Google.com.
Yeah, type in CY and autocomplete. We'll do the rest.
The video game comes out in the summer.
Pre-apocalypse. PC, Mac, and Linux, and Switch.
Whoa, Linux! Holy shit!
Yeah.
And that's right.
If there's anything else you guys want to plug before we get out of here?
We just released our brand new card game, Trial by Trolley. If you haven't heard of it, it's a game based on the trolley problem where you have to pull the lever to go left or right, but if you do that, you're going to kill somebody. So the question is, who would you rather kill? It's a card game, just came out a few months ago. And obviously, we're all in quarantine, but if you have 3 members of your household, you can play it.
Here's a hint. Always kill the horse.
Yep.
Every
time.
Mm-hmm.
We also have our seasonal show, the Cyanide Happiness Show on Verve. So that's on there. We just completed our 4th season this past fall. So that's up for everybody to check out, too.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. Tomorrow we have. What? I'm sorry. What did you say?
Thanks for having
us. I said thank you so much for having us. It's a pleasure.
Thank you, guys.
It's been awesome, and then hopefully, Adam, we can see each other at a show soon.
Yeah, for sure.
So
one day.
Calms down. Tomorrow we've got Richard Horvitz, Invader Zim, Summer School, along with his buddy Dean Cameron, also from Summer School, and Ski Patrol. Wednesday, we have Kara Eberly, Lindsay Jones, and Michael Jones from Ruby. Thursday, Dana Snyder will be on with me with a bunch of our buddies. And Friday, we've got Dan DiDio in, fresh off of DC Comics. And that's it. Good night, everybody. Cool. Gentlemen, thank you very much.
You're doing great. Thank you for bringing us to GalaxyCon. Really appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Everybody, be well.
Thanks again for tuning in to GalaxyCon Live. Make sure to check out our online store at galaxycon.myshopify.com, where you can find t-shirts, signed and certified Funko Pops, autographs, collectibles, and more. For updates on the upcoming streams, visit us on Facebook at GalaxyCon Live or galaxycon.com.
And we're back.
Here.